Hear now the word of God for you, for me, for all of us, found in Psalm 95, verses 1 through 7, and I think it's the New Revised Standard Version. Yes. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and joy. For the Lord is the great God, the King above all gods. In his hands are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down to worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God. And we are the people of his pasture, the flock of his care. This is the word of life. Thanks be to God.
Morning, everyone. KUMC has taught me many things and will continue to teach me many things. One thing I consistently and constantly see is love. Love for God, love for each other, and love for ourselves. Love is not always the easiest to express, especially when you question yourself. There are days where we feel like winners, that we have it all together, but there are also days where our best does not seem good enough and we lose sight of our greatness. My own self started to seek out love from a community and finding love from God, who taught me to love myself more. And as RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? So coming to find the church after weeks of not showing my face on Zoom, to then being seen, to then reading off of a script, I had worked up the courage to speak on my own. As now, a little anxious and intimidated, I decided to share during the weekly round of joys and concerns. This was a big leap for me, allowing me to trust in others who knew so little about me, to not pass judgment or to honestly care when they had no reason to. My concern was not for me, but instead for a close friend of mine. She had just ended a 2-year relationship that she believed would last a lifetime. If that was not crushing enough, the end came after finding out her partner was unfaithful to her. Not everyone has lived through this situation, but many of us have seen it occur in the lives of those that we know or care about. Whether we are 15 with someone who means the world to us in high school, or are parting ways with a partner who is better served as a friend. While I was speaking, I could feel how attentive everyone was. I saw the looks on their faces, everyone who knew or could relate. And then in the prayers that followed, I could feel everyone's empathy. And in that, I felt safety. I felt loved and accepted. It is scary to put yourself out there, and it is even scary to begin to care for someone new. I was not always the best at communication, but being fed through Kingston, I am able to be a better friend, daughter, and partner to those that I love. I have less fear of communicating my thoughts and my feelings, and I understand that to be vulnerable does not make you weak, but it allows you to be seen. Since being a part of this congregation, I have started new relationships, began to patch up old ones, and I've continued to put more care and effort into the ones that already existed. I know that being yourself is not always like who you want to be. I know that every day you face something different and that not everyone can always understand that. But we need to give everyone the opportunity to see who we are, to try and understand that. Because in this room, even shaking up here, I feel like everyone has such patience and such careness and such kindness. And it just makes me want to show that to everyone else in the world. So I'm continuing to learn how to be a better human, and a lot of it stems from the love that I see around me. So thank you to KUMC for bringing that to me.
Thank you, Jaslyn. That was a powerful message, and I'm going to try to live up to match the message with that story you shared. But I wanted to just first start off when I first got the phone call from Pastor Skitch to ask me about doing this with you guys. I didn't entirely understand exactly what I was doing. And it really started off with understanding what today is all about. And to the untrained ear, Laity Sunday, Laity, and Lady sound very similar. So I blindly said yes without knowing entirely what was happening. And I wanted to share that because to me, that's what this church is. When Carrie and I first found this church, it was definitely more so Carrie. And I decided to, come on Zoom and sit next to her out of support. But it wasn't necessarily something that I was searching for. It wasn't necessarily something that I felt like I needed or wanted in that moment, but she did, so I did it. And kind of sat off to the side, didn't really pay complete attention, just was kind of there. But as I sat through the services and as I got to kind of see who all was here and what those joys and concerns were, what the message of the sermons were, I started to kind of enjoy it. But it still wasn't something that I was like really truly looking for or wanting to invest my time in. But I continued to come. And the more that I got to know everybody and the more that I got to see the connection and the bond that is here in this church that I've never experienced in any other place I've been for church. It's 200, 300 people. You don't know anybody's name. And it's these messages that I just couldn't connect with because it was so rehearsed and it was so, the language I just didn't understand, hence Laity Sunday. So it was something that was just so new to me. And I felt so welcomed to be able to put myself here and to be able to agree to do this with not understanding what they wanted from me or what you all were looking for, because I knew it was a space that I could do this and it was a space to feel accepted. And I think the joys and the concerns for me was one of the biggest pieces with that, kind of similar to what Jaslyn was saying, with hearing everybody speak so honestly and be referred to by name. And, there was just that true love here in this room, whether it was physically here or on Zoom, but I think everybody can feel it and it's so present. And so I just want to really say thank you to everybody here who I've had conversations with, I have yet to meet. For those of you online, it really is a family. And I appreciate that so much. Thank you.